G'day and welcome back to more Space Engineers 2, day 2 of my survival, and I've already started ripping apart the thing because my storage ran out of space, so I started my recording midway through the stream. Whoops. Oh man. That gravity was weird. Let's see if I can do it again. Nope, that one decided to do it immediately. No, I've got a NAS, Swaffy I just don't record onto my NAS. Because it never worked very well. So, yesterday I did the first mission. Just the first mission. Came down here and was messing around. I decided to put this ship onto my ship. And if anyone, Stark, has the link to my stupidity yesterday, I would happily re-show it. Stark, I only mentioned you because you're usually really good and on the ball with these things. I can show you how I did my stupid. There is no sneaky sounds. I haven't yet looked into whether it's even possible to do yet. Guess not this time. Oh well. Thank you very much, unidentified flying cheese, for the very fun name and the 10 gift subs. Thank you very much. That's before I even went live. But yeah, if anyone has the clip from that for yesterday, actually it might be in the clippy clip channel. Nope, just my dude that I did yesterday. So what I'm thinking is, I kind of want to rip apart a lot of this because I actually want to make it a bit more simple to get myself back up to space so that I can get drills. But I also want to design this very differently because I was making this too compact. I was doing the thing that I advised people not to do in my most recent tutorials, and I made it too compact, and that means everything just takes forever. Appears that no one clipped it. That's surprising. Oh well. Huh. I could probably find it. Well, it shouldn't be too hard. Oh man. I should have been more organized on that. Test unit, you're onto it? Sweet. Oh. Okay. That would help if I open
G'day, everyone.
Nope, that's the wrong one. Let's
G'day,
mute
everybody,
myself. Okay, so this was too early. Okay. Down on the planet. We're doing the things. That looks like... Oh yeah, here we go. Here it is. So I decided to take off with this because I was like, oh, I can bring it back to space with me. And then I can use its parts. And, oh no. Oh no, I can't.
Nope.
No, I can't.
Oh, this is gonna end badly.
Derp. No.
Oh dear.
And this is when I was like, oh, I'll just detach it. Then I'll be safe. But watch what happens when I detach it.
No, get back here!
Bad wrong.
Trying to get away from me while it still can.
No! That's when I stopped boosting when I realized I'm gonna run into the
quite fast.
ground.
Oh.
And
Oh, dear.
Capak's color commentary being a few seconds delayed is because he's watching the stream on Twitch.
Looking good.
Actually, you...
No, get back here!
You know what, Scuba Steve? You might be right. This might actually be one of those rare situations where I can't blame Capak because he was there,
Trying to get away from me while it
but he
still
couldn't
can.
have been more there.
No!
But maybe he should have warned me.
It's traveling quite fast.
Oh, I think it did do some voxel damage. You can see there's a bit of an indent there.
Real fast.
Yeah, so that's what happened yesterday. That's why I'm down here on the planet rebuilding, or building a new ship, because I need to get to space. Oh man, this grinder is slow when you're grinding this stuff down. It does give me an engineering opportunity. It also gives me an opportunity to be reminded of the fact that the game doesn't teach you how to build a ship. The tutorials in this don't teach you to actually make a ship at all. They don't even teach you how to build at all. At least the stuff I've run into so far. Let's use this cargo container over here. They are apparently leaving it for me, so it means I've got something to do. But what that means is there's an extra incentive for me to think about how I want to build and try and build with some interesting aesthetics and stuff like that. So I'm kind of down for that. You don't need to build a new ship, but since when do we need to do things to enjoy doing them in Space Engineers? Isn't that the point? Let's get those. Alt right click is the new alt middle mouse, eh? Ah, nice. Thanks. See? Little things like that. And I do not know. Okay. So, starting fresh. Starting nice and fresh. From a weird appendage shoved into the mountain. As we've always known, Splitsy likes doing things the hard way. Yes. There's usually more interesting. Only problem is that alt right click also puts your suit consumables away too. Yep. So be careful where you do that. Alright, I'm just going to clean up this little bit more, and then we'll be ready to actually start laying out a ship. Because what I'd laid out before just wasn't ever going to look good. And that made me sad. I was thinking I could make it into a not symmetry build, but I actually think I want to start with something more symmetrical. And now that I know the limitations of the existing version of the build from projection, this should be a lot easier because I don't have to build, remove, build, remove, build, remove, which is what I did yesterday. Should build a better grinder. I didn't find any lead. I didn't see any lead on my HUD when I went scanning a little bit. If I'd seen some lead, I would totally build a better tool. But I didn't notice any lead. Like, I flew around a fair bit trying to find an iron deposit that was bigger than the one that was near there. And no luck. Didn't see lead there either. There's some lead that shows up in the first cave, but yesterday I loaded up the game and did a fresh start just after the stream, and I mined that lead and got nothing. So it's almost like there's such a small deposit that there's a chance it just deletes it instead of actually giving you the stuff. It was weird. But yeah, there was... It did not give me any resources at all. It seems you were misled. Yes, it does. Oh, nice one, Destiny. Thank you for going back and clipping that. There's copper, though. I should probably grab some of that. May well need some of that. I should probably start building the ship before I start collecting stuff that I may or may not need. Hello? I said give me a hole big enough for my head. Right click should give me a hole big enough for my head. I don't know if lead's in the large batteries. But it sounds like it might be, so that might be worth looking at and seeing if this station here has a large grid battery. So that could be handy. Oh yeah, lead bar. Okay. Is there another battery on this base, or is that the only one? If that's the only one, I kind of don't want to get rid of it right now. There's a small battery here, so yeah, I can get rid of the big one. I just need to make a gear forge. Which I can't build here because I don't own the grid. Nickel, silicon, cobalt, and iron. What have we got in here? Silicon, iron. Alright. Need almost a ton of iron. I need to find a little bit of cobalt. Do those first. I might have had the components, but I feel like I'm going to need to mine this stuff anyway. And a ton of iron isn't actually that hard to mine. As proven. Alright, cobalt, silicon, nickel. It's okay, suit lady. It'll get better. That's right, Tiffany. It's nothing to get upset about. We will, things will improve. We will have ships. Oh, yeah, that's right. I need more silicon. This deposit is basically gone, and so is the nickel. TFE is here. Show some respect. I think TFE is the kind of person who would find great amusement in me choosing to call the suit lady Tiffany. And since he's here, he can comment on that. You like it because it confuses Catback. Yeah, that's also fair. I need more cargo, but I can't build it on this because that's not mine, so let's build it on this. Build a big one. Oh man, not enough. Alright, what do I actually need? Motors, construction components. I have construction components and motors. There we go. Now I can empty stuff.
Inventory full.
Move it into my own inventory so I remember to empty this later.
Inventory full.
I haven't tried to get to the cave for the stuck objective. I was going to do that before I get back to space. Because I don't see any ice around here, so I may as well go to that ice to get ice. So the ship that I was building before was also going to be purely hydrogen, which meant I would have had to go find ice somewhere else and then come back. Which, don't want to do that. So what else do I need? Motors, electronic parts, and metal grids. Don't have the metal grids, so I'm going to have to go get the cobalt. We do have the motors, we do have the electronic parts. So I just need a little bit of cobalt, and we're good. Wish I could try and play, but when I load into the menu and click the survival option, it starts to load but crashes before even loading into the world. Then when I try and relaunch the game, I can't even get to the menu until I restart my PC. On Hello Death, I saw on the workshop someone posted a save as a scenario that is the game with... It's the game starting after the cutscene, because it seems the cutscene was causing issues with particularly AMD graphics cards. So you might want to give that a try and see if you can get in that way. That is not good for my knees. Also, when drilling down, you stand up every time you fall. They really need to crouch to stay on. Today's patch was supposed to remove... Oh dear. Yeah, I'm stuck in a hole. I'm gonna die in a hole. Because I forgot to... I can't dig up. The drill doesn't work without power. And I can't fly without power. Where did I spawn? Okay. Well, that's helpful. I guess. Yeah, that was the lamest of doom holes. I won't disagree. Are there any batteries on the base that I haven't stolen yet? My ship does not have much power left. No. Oh, I'm still stuck. Don't you worry. I still don't have a hydrogen-powered ship. So I'm still stuck. Thank you, Romanez, for the 41 months. Thank you, Kana, for the Prime sub. And thank you, Swaffy Tech, for the 33 months. Thank you, Stick Monkey, for the Prime sub. And Salaka for the 1 month as well. Can you make power cells directly? I don't think so. I thought you make them... I mean, I imagine you can make them in like the Gearforge or something like that. Well, at least I'll bring a survival kit with me. What else can I steal from here? Yeah, let's grab some bits out of this. Why not? Already stolen its survival kit. I can get some motors out of these. That'll be useful. The ship that breaks in half has ion thrusters, does it? Does it actually have any useful components in it? I didn't check the thrusters. I don't recall checking them anyway. Well, I should probably head off. This is enough material, I think. Oh yeah, Stark, that's true. That is my very first death in SE2. That is literally my very first death in Space Engineers 2. Huh. An inauspicious start if I've ever had one. Ah. Ah, it's alright. If I load the ship up too much, I'll put more thrusters on. Start as you mean to go on, they say. Yeah. Oh. Good enough. Uh-oh. Oh. I took the I took the main lifting thruster off this one. I forgot. Forgot that I did that yesterday. This has no lift. Need turbine blades. Oh dear. Do I have any? I have two. I have enough for one of these thrusters. Alright, hopefully that's enough for lift. Do I need those for the little ones? No. Yeah, I've got a flat battery, so I was also going to add another one before I start flying. How much is in that power module when we start? 30%. Same as what we're used to. Okay, let's try that again. Oh yeah? We can fly? Do I try and bring the ice, or do I head back to my base? I should probably head back to my base while I've got a marker for it, because otherwise I'm going to lose it. Zoom, zoom, zoom! Ish. Yeah, I didn't make a GPS marker for my base because I didn't anticipate dying, which was a daft thing to not anticipate. Now we're getting zoom zoom. Yeah, it had literally never happened before. I had never died before in this game. Whee! Dragon Zero, you missed something critical, actually. Oh, manufacturing facility. that'll be fine. I can stop this. Super dampeners! Forget the super dampeners. I can easily stop this. Hey, just don't touch anything, and I come to a perfect stop. I'll see this when I come back to grab the ice. We'll keep heading home. Keep heading back to where I'm going to build this ship. Though I do wonder why I'm going there to build it when I've now got more here, but it is what it is. %, power. Samir, is the HUD overly busy? I'm with you, the HUD is overly busy. There are a lot of colors, things are very opaque. And there's a lot of text. But I think the other thing that makes it busy is that they went for a drop shadow on the font to highlight it instead of going for just an outline. Like the player's backpack thing, the drop shadow is too far from the text. It actually makes it harder to read. But it's honestly no better or worse than the original Space Engineers UI. I mean, it's more colorful, but I don't think it's any better at this stage. There is a slider for background opacity. I've already turned it down a bit. See what it looks like turning it down even more. Not sure it's making much of a difference. It means I can see through this at least. Speed limit in SE2 is 300 meters per second. But I've got my speedo set to kilometers an hour, which I'll probably change back. Meters per second. At least until we get rovers. Once we got rovers, then I might, well, I hope we've got scripting by that point, and some clever scripter person can make it so that the HUD changes to kilometers an hour when you get into the cockpit of a vehicle with wheels. Hey, I didn't have tools on my backpack. Interesting. No spare tools to delete. Hey, the only way I could tell you how many bananas per washing machine it is if I somehow end up with 12 fingers and 14 toes. Do they have to be yours? Wow, Shadow, on brand for you to ask that. Well played. Very nicely done. Down we go. Thanks, Lashid. Thank you for the Prime sub. Okay. Now we can get back to making this gear forge. Which I need to give power to. Also, alt right click is going to take me some practice. Yeah, just in case I do end up using this, and because it is my survival kit, I will change over the power. I have taken the power module from the base, so we need to go around here, up here, and swap this one. And then it should charge, if this base has a power source. Now I need a battery over here. Then I can use this gear forge to make better tools. Probably. Oh, a moment where I want advanced welding, so I can safely grind things. You can make GPS markers on the map, somehow. There we go. You are here, add GPS marker. Now, there's no way to delete them. So I'm not sure I want to be making them yet, because then I won't be able to get rid of them. So I think I'll make it once I've actually decided where my base is. Can you delete it? Alright. Let's try. Add GPS marker. Temporary home. Ah. Do you want to delete? Yep, there we go. Cool. We can delete it. Why do I have these? Whatever. Can't disable them though. Can we? No. Mandatory Capac HUD for everyone. Yep. Thanks, Osiris. Thank you for the 4 months. Oh. You know, when you wonder why a key isn't working, and then you realize you're pressing the wrong key. Steel tubes. Give me some steel tubes.
Inventory full.
It seems to fit everything through everything conveyor-wise at the moment. And it doesn't seem to care at all. Everything I tested yesterday worked, including advanced components. Everything but the engineer can fit in the conveyors. Yeah, fair play. The block placing controls the same in SE2 as SE1. They are if you use the SE2 controls in SE1. Because after people like myself said, wow, these are actually pretty good. You guys did a good job coming up with a new control scheme. They decided to add it to SE1. Because I genuinely think they did a good job. There are some awkwardness. There's some awkwardness to it with things like hand cramp. But once we can rebind control to shift, I think my hand cramp issues will be resolved. Structure components and electric parts. Still not at a pace where I can recognize the different components very quickly. Alright, so I need a single lead bar for a welder Mark II. Produce one for me. Nope, you want to make a welder Mark I as well. Hello, you just made one. Make them. Why? It's literally got it. It literally just made it. Why can't you move from the input to the output? Or the output to the input? Needs 2 lead bars for the Mark II. I got another lead bar because I ground down those batteries. There we go. Don't know whether it's a grinder I want more or a welder, but I think it's welder. What does the Mark II grinder need? It needs 2 lead bars as well. Yeah, I'm short. Unfortunately. Oh, at least I got one better tool. Can you disassemble anything? Is there anything you can disassemble? Because I don't see a disassemble option. Forge does not seem to have it. Perhaps it's in the assembler? Yeah, could be. Could be. Alright, so let's get to ship design. I want this ship to have Atmo thrusters and hydrogen thrusters because I want it to be able to be a shuttle going from space to land. I am going to enable symmetry for building this. But I just want to try and think before I start placing blocks. So that I hopefully end up with something that looks a bit more interesting. Oof. Lord Balthair. Just joined. Disassemble something? Is there a runway nearby? Perhaps one without any lights and hanging over a body of water? Oh, that was so funny. Like, as... I think Shaq took a lot harder than I did, but that was so funny. And it wasn't any one specific person's fault, it was everyone's fault. Both of us screwed that up. Okay, so if I want Atmo and hydrogen thrust, and I kind of want to have enough hydrogen thrust to lift, not just use a forward thruster, what I might do is... I want to also get some negative space in this. Maybe I can have like 2 big nacelles with hydrogen on them. If I go out. Although I don't want to build too big, do I? Because I can't drill with a ship drill down here until I get back to space. I'm torn. Can you start with the cockpit and work back? I could. But the cockpit's quite small. I think maybe we go smaller. Don't go so big. Get something that works, and then see what I can do to enhance it later. Massively overdesigned your first ship and then regret it. That's exactly how I'm here today. Because that's exactly what I did yesterday. I do need at least 2 cargo containers because that's kind of how much junk I've been shipping around. So we go that. We also needed to have a... survival kit. Oh, you're big. You are big. Maybe I go cockpit, cargo, survival kit, cargo. To start off with. Yeah, this is going to be a brick. This is certainly going to be a brick if I don't want to spend ages building it. Although I might have some ways to make it a little less brickish by the end. Then let's go with... that's battery. That's O2H2 gen. So O2H2 gen. That is the right port size. No, it's not. Need to convert. Need to learn all the port sizes of things. Actually, that makes me wonder whether I'd be better off doing this. Putting a pair of those on there. Build out that. Is that the only cockpit available? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Gonna need at least 2 batteries. Let's turn off symmetry first. It kind of has to go like that, doesn't it? Actually, what if I do that? These at the front. Are these covering the cargo access port there, though? Yeah, we'll go there. If this goes into space, why build it with horizontal alignment instead of more vertical? That would be because it's still staying in Atmo, which means it still needs lots of lift thrusters to be drivable, to be flyable in any way that makes it easy to fly. Vertical ships are harder to build in a way that is useful. They just are, because our brains are not set up for that. The tiny blocks available, I so want to make all my ships with internal spaces. I kind of do too. And that's what I was aiming for yesterday, but then I loaded up this morning and was like, that's not a good idea when I don't have the materials for it. So I was thinking of going more like Y-Wing-esque. Why you hate me? whinging about? Do you not actually have an attachment point back there? You don't. That's what you need. Okay. So rather than do that, let's give it some space up there.
Suit energy low.
Is that far enough apart? I don't think that is. That's better. That's so oversized. That looks stupid. Let's go with the smaller ones. I mean, it looked fun, but it was way oversized. Okay, that's fine. We'll go with that. As he doesn't require you to do routine maintenance on your grids. Just changed a water pump on my truck for the second time in a week, and I am done with busted knuckles. Ugh. There are so many games that I've seen people talk about, like, I'd love it if maintenance were in this because X. And every time I think about it, I'm just like, no, you don't. No, you don't. You really don't want maintenance in your games. Because maintenance is rarely fun. I mean, I know there are games like Power Wash Simulator that give you semi-maintenance task vibes. But unless you specifically design around it, oof. Maintenance tasks are just not fun. Can I now fit in here a couple of these to provide lift? It wants to snap on there. Oh, there's just not enough room for 2. Do I need 4? It's 2 plus the ammo thrusters is going to be enough. Is that the right spot though? Splitsy ships don't last long enough to require maintenance. There is some accuracy to that. There is some truth. I think that's better. Yeah, how am I going to recharge my suit? I think I've got a suit recharge thing in here. Nope, not in that one. Have I got one over here? Oh, I can just get in the cockpit. Master Shadows, has there been any word on if engines and wheels, you mean thrusters and wheels, will be controllable on subgrids without scripts? I really want retractable engines. I mean, we haven't really had any words on subgrids and how they're going to work at all, so the answer for the moment is no. Huh. Keen, why? Why do we not have a corner that fits here? Huh? Huh? Why? 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 Let's see how this looks anyway. How silly does it look? Very, Very silly. Alright then, let's try this. I put cargo there, and I can then get rid of the cargo on board. No, that's not a good idea. I just don't want big ones on the reverse. Oh, it's not aligned. Thanks, Paul Beeler. Thank you for the Prime sub. Yeah, I think this kind of could work. That's pretty much the same shape I had before, it's just a little bit further forward. Yeah. Might need to weld up what I have and accept that it is where it is, and then start adding the rest of the functional blocks, because I think I'm going to get it to a point soon where I've added so much that I can't actually access things. But what I will do before I do that, I think, is connect the piping. Which I'm going to do with junctions, just in case I need to use their signs anyway. I'm not going to forget it. I mean, I probably will. But I'll put a gyro on now, so then it's not going to get forgotten. There we go. Now I just need to get all the magical gigantic pile of stuff I need to build this. So I was thinking if the thrusters could go, like the ammo thrusters can go there. Then we've ended up with a fairly boxy shape, but and then I can just do directional thrust for the rest. But that should be the bulk of it. I think. That should work. I'll get reverse thrust, don't worry, probably. Sure I can fit it somewhere. I can turn these into a spot to put some little reverse thrusters. I just didn't want big reverse thrusters. I like asymmetrical thrust for this stuff. Emergency thrust is what gyros are for. Also for just letting go of the controls. Alright, I'll be back in just a sec. I'm just going to grab a quick drink and I'll be back in a moment. It is strange to hear I'll be back in an Australian accent instead of an Austrian one. Interesting. Hello? Weld? Oh. What? Is the cockpit's building normally? I wonder if that was something to do with the symmetry mode. Motors and glass. We have a cockpit. Let's get this cargo container. Need more steel plate. Can I count it happen as well? That should surprise no one. More electronic parts. Man, I want build planner. I seriously want build planner. Finish that up. Then we got the batteries, we got the cockpit. Now, survival kit. Need more iron. Or have I got a ton of steel plate in these? That's heavy duty plate. I got a bit. See, I think there's a fairly good chance that knowing things are coming for... I should probably get some context to this for those who aren't seeing chat. Who's modding Build Planner until the vanilla one is introduced? No one. I doubt anyone will do that. Because there's an expectation that there will be a vanilla one. Any function that people expect to come in vanilla is unlikely to be modded, I reckon. Because who's going to do it? The amount of work, especially when we don't have scripting mods yet, the amount of work required to make it just feels like the people smart enough to do it be like, yeah, nah, I'm not going to do that. Well, not a rotor is a separate thing. Not a rotor is actually a rotor because the game already has it, it's just not enabled. Because it's not fully functional yet. So that's kind of different. Like unlocking stuff that's been locked by the devs because they're not ready to make it public, that I can see happening. Like the water and like the multiplayer and things like that that people have unlocked. Welding up the things. I'm gonna have to go mine some iron, aren't I? Trying to use up what components I have while I have them, but I think I'm gonna run out of steel plate first, which feels weird. You tried SE2 2 weeks ago and didn't like the block choosing way. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it either. But I can't remember where I saw it, but I think someone might have started working on figuring out ways to change it so that you scroll through the block list instead of scrolling through your hotbar. Tapping R and Shift R, for me, whether it's good or bad, I dislike it because it reminds me of 7 Days to Die. And I found that system super cumbersome in 7 Days to Die, especially once you had more blocks. The more blocks you have, the more cumbersome it feels. Whereas a quick scroll with your mouse wheel just feels more responsive. Whether it actually ends up being better or not, I don't know. But yeah, that's something that I've struggled with as well. The R and Shift R is slow. And feels slow. Okay. I think I have now run out of steel plate. Yeah, that's all heavy duty plate. And same over here, so that means I gotta go mine some iron. And if I'm gonna go mine some iron... Oh, what? Kane. That's not cool, man. Not only does the alt right click dump your consumables, it also dumps your higher tier tools. Oh, it's definitely an oversight. I'd say that's an oversight rather than a bug. Based on my own stupid oversight that I did with the equivalent system in SE1 when I didn't realize that I had to now add the flag to my mod. It's annoying. Doesn't change that it's annoying. Well, looks like that thing I learnt to use is not getting used anymore because grabbing my tool back every time is going to be really annoying. Yeah. Greeninator, I do wonder why Keen has chosen a hard lock for things rather than a player-controlled lock for things. Because it would be really handy to be able to pick what you keep in your inventory and have it just dump everything else. You pick. Don't make it something that players or modders have to define. Don't make it something that the devs or modders have to define. Let the player define it. It's a more, to me, that seems like a more robust system in the long run. Definitely harder, I imagine harder to make initially, but more robust in the long haul. It's really dark. Can't see squat. Do I have any lights? I do. And they were off. Now, I think I'm going to have to find the iron, because I don't think this has an ore detector. Nope. I'm going to have to find the iron with my hand drill and then fly to it. I think the iron that I found was over that way more. Just thought I'd bring my ship so that I could bring a couple of loads without having to fly back. So I think I was smashing trees somewhere this way. There is iron in this... beneath this rock. That I can no longer see. There we go. There it is. There probably was iron near the ice cave, but the ice cave's like 50 k's away. I'm not flying that far. Oh, we're still double voxels when we got these rocks. That's the same as SE1. Are there logic blocks and sensors yet? No. And this also appears to be a very small deposit of iron. So small, in fact, that I'm really not getting much from it. It is a bit on this rock rather than a bit underground. And there's silicon 30 meters down. I don't think I'm going to get that. Right, let me out. Let me out. Let me out. Oh yeah, I've been finding world holes very easily with the hand mining. Alright. Let's see if I can find another iron. It was somewhere up this way. Nickel. Iron. Is my hole I dug still here? Yes, it is. Okay. Now can I see my ship? Yes. I don't have vehicle drills. I don't have access to them. I crashed before I got them. So I can't make a mining ship. I might have slightly made myself a survival scenario out of this, let's call it campaign scenario. Because this is more of a campaign mode than a survival mode, I think. Or at least campaign rather than sandbox. Huh? Is this a different iron? Oh, man. Oh, whatever. This is the iron. This is my iron that I actually dug to. There's just iron everywhere. Alright, let's just land somewhere. Very hard to spot things at night. $20 meters. Here we go. Was it intentionally crashing? It was not intentional. I mean, I was trying to do something stupid. I won't deny that, but it wasn't intentional that this was the outcome. My hoped for outcome was that I was going to be able to fly the thing to space. You know when I do something intentionally stupid because I will save beforehand. Or at least do some prep beforehand. Oh boy. I don't know how, but I guarantee I'm gonna get comments on the VOD of this from people saying, you know, you can use alt right click, because they're gonna have missed the bit where the bug happened. Where it drops, instead of keeping my tools, it drops them. Where is my hold to exit? Thank you, Fulgen. You know, you can use alt right click, right? Yes, TFE is made very... Oops. TFE's been made very happy by the fact that you no longer have to press F to pick up ores and that there's no stone to get rid of. And I think in this instance, I would say TFE's attitude is probably going to align with a larger selection of game players. Would be my guess. Has he been made happy by your naming the suit lady after him? I haven't actually talked to TFE off stream about this yet. I've always tried with any comments, both in chat and in YouTube comments, and I don't always get this right, but I've always tried to imagine the best way it could have been phrased and take it that way, because there are lots of reasons why things might be said poorly. One of the things that's been a big challenge is the very stark difference between the way certain cultures use English and the way Australians would. The difference is probably like, and I'm not singling out any one particular group because like there are both much more polite than Australian and much more blunt than Australian. Both ways can be an interesting thing to navigate. So I try my best to imagine things in the best possible light, at least until a pattern of behavior shows up, and then it's just like, well, I like that YouTube has shadow bans, because then I don't have to listen to you anymore. I'd be distracted by that when I could reply to someone who's actually being nice. And people can tell me I'm wrong in a nice way. Yeah, see, people can tell me I'm wrong in a nice way to the extent that the person who has been the most savage in the ways that they've told me I'm wrong is one of the people that I play with very regularly, i.e. Capac, and then you've got Nev, who takes it to an even higher level, who I play with, and he's one of my moderators. People telling me I'm wrong is not something that puts me off. It's how it's done. I've got nitrous in my suit. Does that mean you're funny now? Oh, that was man, that comment was just chef's kiss perfect. Yeah, Nev said that. He said that in Stationeers in the multiplayer at my expense. And it was one of those lines he like, that's just too good. I don't care how insulting that is to me. It's just too good for me to do anything but laugh. That was on Terraformers, yeah. In one of the early episodes, where we had poisoned ourselves with nitrous. And there's more left. Bit more left still. Oh, bad. Not bad. 62 meters from it. Oh! Well, that's not good. Come on! 'Cause you tree. Just in case. For posterity. Is that going to give me enough space for the gyro to roll me over? Maybe? Hey, corn dog. Answer to my question is no. You damage your grid with a drill. I think so. I don't really want to do that while I'm loaded up with iron. Oh, I'm salvaging the situation from yesterday. That's the fun bit for me. I like trying to fix up these sorts of mistakes. Oh, we're getting there. I'm also getting squashed. Yeah, life without pistons, it means diggy diggy hole is the only solution. That'll build a whole bucket load more gyroscopes. Or just one big one. So that's the other thing that's going to be... going to take a bit of getting used to remembering, I think. Is being like, hey, I don't have a grid size limit, so I can just go, well... I need more gyros, so let's build the biggest one I can build. Except I don't think I have access to it yet. Yeah, I don't. I've only got one size. Feel like this is less fixing and more burying. I'm just trying to give it room to roll over. Oh no, that's made it worse. Okay, I don't know how to fix this. Poop. Alright, gyros it is. What else do you need? You need a little bit of nickel. Nickel, 100 meters away. 50 meters away. Yeah, thruster on the side and some more gyro authority. It's probably the way it's going to have to go. Oh, Alex, did Shaq end up trying out SE2? Did he? I wasn't sure if he was going to or not. Earlier today? Cool. To some extent, my goal right now is not to play the game well, but is to kind of just muck around. One of the things I found most useful in all my time playing SE for understanding where things go wrong for people is to just not try to be perfect. Don't try and do everything right. Just let things happen and see how you can solve them. Try different solutions, try different answers, and not only do I find that more fun, but I also found it incredibly useful as a way to have more interesting and more valuable insights into what a new player might struggle with. Thanks, Beldenik. Thank you for the 100 rainbow unicorns. So that's kind of like I was having fun yesterday, and so I wanted to play more today, but it was also because I was going to play more today, so I may as well stream it. Because I need to understand more of where things go wrong in SE2 before I can make any sort of interesting video in it, I think. So yeah, my goal today was just, let's just keep playing, see where it goes, fix things on site rather than always going back to my base to try and collect materials for stuff. Because that way I go through that process a few times. There we go, now we're at the nickel. I'm not a big fan of how incredibly slow the voxel chunking is. It feels even slower than Space Engineer, like SE1. Like I drill, chunk. Drill, chunk. Yeah, you definitely learn more from mistakes than success, absolutely. I hope they can make the voxels more performant so that they can make the chunking happen at a higher frequency. So the drilling feels more fluid. It could well be that this is just a decision they made for now to make performance better, because they did the same in SE1 to improve the performance there. It was really, really fluid, and then it wasn't, and then they improved it a little bit, but I'm hoping it can be better than SE1's. One thing that I think is good that Keen have kept up their sleeve for this and have mentioned early on is that you will have to start a new save to get water. What that means is they can do something that they never really did for SE1, which is change the planet maps at that stage, because they've got a hard reset point in the future that they know they can use. So with the resources at the moment being the way they are, they can change those. They can change those maps. They can change how it's distributed to match wherever the game ends up being at that stage. Whoa! Where am I? Whoa! I think I'm still stuck in a tree. Wait, where does it think my mouse is at? Nope. Nope. Okay, I'm gonna have to get rid of some of these trees because I think I'm running into them. Oh, even the little ones? I wasn't expecting those to have collisions. That's probably contributing to my issues. Goodbye, trees. Oh, this is so over gyroed. It's just way too responsive. Yeah, I could turn a bunch of them off. That brings back slightly more reasonable control. This should get me most of the nickel and iron that I need, I think. We should have a ship. Or start of a ship at least. Right, where was I up to? These were next. Oh, I need cobalt or metal grid. I got any metal grids? None there. And none in there. Okay, I need to go get cobalt. Well, let's lose my welder for a minute, because that's going to make transferring quicker.
Inventory full.
At 114 already? Oh yeah, I do. Cool. I'll transfer out of here anyway, because I plan to grind down both of those ships and take their components with me. when I leave here. So I don't want this to be my base. I'd rather pick a base location. And I would like a planet base rather than a space base in the long run. Thank you, Egon. Thank you for the Prime sub. Grab that. Let's do some welding. Aw, poop. I actually don't have enough cobalt. I'm short. Nuts. Alright, let's find some cobalt. Don't think I need the ship for this one. I don't... That is an interesting question about claiming the grid. How can I claim ownership of this? Has anyone figured out what's needed to take over a grid yet? Is it possible? Shack tried with no luck. Yeah, my thinking was that they may not have had that in the game yet. As a way to transfer ownership. And these ones that we already own, these ones that we find, we already own at the start. That might be worth looking into. Because I can't build anything on it. So I've got to transfer ownership before I can place something. You don't have the permission to perform block placement on this grid. Because there's no hack line or anything on this. Control panel. There is a survival kit on here. Yeah. I don't see anything in here. Yeah. I imagine there's no implemented means of doing that stuff yet. Okay, so I needed to go get some more cobalt. Let's go find some cobalt. Not in this weird asteroid that's been implanted into the ground, but on the ground. Oh, that's convenient. Run, Steve, run! He's coming for you! What's the detection range on the drill? It seems to be as oddly inconsistent as SE1 and somewhere between 100 and 150 meters. Something around that level. Because even in SE, where you've got a 50-meter range small grid one, it'll often pick stuff up between 100 and 50 meters, sometimes even keeping a marker up till beyond 150 meters. I imagine it's something to do with how they search for it, and how it's a genuine search for it, rather than a we know where all the markers are, so let's just show it on the HUD. like a lot of other games do. And it not updating your location as quickly as it theoretically could. Yep, ore is auto picked up, and there is no stone to throw out. How much did I get from that? 352. Might find one more, just so I don't have to do this again. Yeah, very small deposits though. Drill ships are going to end up making a lot of potholes. However, with lots of small deposits, I can see a mining rover having a better chance of picking up surface stuff, because if there are lots of little deposits near the surface, a mining rover doesn't have to dig deep to get anything useful. You can just grab these little surface deposits, or near surface deposits. I'm open to playing more with these small deposits and seeing how it feels. Because while it is annoying getting down to them, and it does take time, and that is a bit annoying, but what it means is you are always having to search for stuff, but stuff can be kind of everywhere. So the exploration mechanic of searching for ores, even on a planet, isn't just a thing you do in that first day and then you're done. And if that exploration is interesting because we've got caves, because we've got other stuff around, then maybe that exploration is worth encouraging players to always continue to do. So I'm open to it. I don't have an immediate response to that. Yeah, so with the jetpacks, you burn energy with the slow speed, and you burn hydrogen with the boost. You don't burn any hydrogen until you use the boost. There don't appear to be any surface markings that I've been able to detect. I haven't looked very closely for them as yet. We can possibly have a look once it's daytime, if someone reminds me. I really like the boost concept. I think it's done well. Having a jetpack that always works and that can't move you so fast that you die, and that being the default, is actually kind of a nice touch for usability, especially if you have any sort of accessibility constraints on being able to fly around and press those controls. I think it's nice. I would even be okay if player characters had no ability to die at that speed, even though I dislike ships not being able to get damaged at that speed, because it makes it feel too much like Imperium, and not in a good way. Right, that's all the cobalt here. Well, you can PvP jetpack collision, you just have to use your boost. There are unknown signals. Catpack and I found some yesterday. A hand miner does not have the search filter, no. Not any way I've found yet. And if someone knows a way, I would love to learn. So, when I was thinking about, do I stream this today or do I just play around on my own? One of the really useful things for me about streaming this is how much more you guys have paid attention than I have. And help me learn the bits that I missed. And I'm very much appreciative of that. Okay. Let's get that. Might actually change these out, because I know I'm going to need to use them for my Directional boosters. Directional thrusters, I should say. Let's change that to that before I weld it. Let's not use iron because I've got a bucket load of those. Nice. It does prioritize the use of components over materials in your inventory. And there is a speed difference. I don't know if the speed difference is enough yet, but there is a speed difference. And I'm out of materials.
Inventory full.
That's why I collect so much iron. Everyone's paying 30% attention, so with roughly 450 people in chat, we're paying a total of 135% attention. Yeah, it's probably more like 85%, but it's still better. What do you need? You need nickel. I need to go find some nickel then. Alright, let's go find some nickel. We're getting there though. We're almost back to where we're ahead of where the ship was when I loaded the game today. I believe the building with raw ore is intended to be a permanent feature in the game. And I don't have any problems with it as a concept. Execution-wise, I think there's some tweaking that's needed to be done because at the moment I feel like it's better. It's not enough of a difference between it and the building from components for me to bother building from components a lot of the time. I haven't investigated the actual differences, but at the moment the difference has felt small enough that I feel incentivized to carry ore rather than components because it's so much easier to carry the ore and just have the right materials. So I actually don't mind as a concept at all, and I think it's executed better than some other games do a similar thing where they make you make the components in your inventory, which doesn't always add up to better gameplay. It often just ends up with you standing there waiting for the bits to get made. Sarian, I 100% want to do a full dive into the efficiencies of these things, but I also want to go by feel as well, because feel is more important with these sorts of things than the actual numbers. Because if you can't feel the difference, then it's not going to incentivize a player to do it. The player needs to feel it. And so it is very much about perception rather than reality. Salonic, the ore maps may end up a bit more Ares of War in the end. Did I? I don't think I have, no. Because they've talked about wanting to... probably got enough power to get a little bit of this at least. I don't get myself all confused. Because they've talked about having sectors having different amounts of different materials and things like that, so that's a bit Ares of War, at least in that respect. This is making it very difficult to tell where the nickel is. If you run out of power, you're dead. Because you can't jetpack back out of the hole. Also, that's a problem. Where is my exit? There. Let's exit now, because I got a little bit of nickel. I do need to get home before I run out of power. So that will be bad. Yes, I got my nickel back to base. Something about photographs. Alright. I'll be right back. I'm going to take a quick bio break and do a little stretch. And then hopefully that's enough nickel to do some building. I think I still need to collect more. But I'll be right back. Oh, J-Rock. Yeah, I know the mindset that not everything has to be as efficient as it can be. There are some games where people literally rage at you for not being efficient. Space Engineers can be one of those games. It's just fortunate that I've been around long enough in doing stuff in Space Engineers that these days the majority of people that watch what I do realize how little I care about being efficient or not. And accept that my target for efficiency is not yield of materials, time to produce or anything like that. My target for efficiency is where is the most fun? Where can I achieve the most fun? And yeah, there are a few games I choose not to stream because of the let's say assertiveness of some portions of the community in their upset at my lack of efficiency. My lack of desire for it. I mean, Satisfactory would probably be one of them, but I didn't play Satisfactory because I just didn't have a lot of fun. I really struggled to find anything in it that was a hook for me. And Factorio was, would probably be one of the things that people would first guess, but actually Zomboid was the worst that I've experienced. Streamed it once and never went back because I was just like, yeah, no. Nickel. Does this have multiplayer yet? No. No, it does not. Also, has anyone noticed whether there's an actual difference between right and left click mining with the drill yet? It feels very identical. Yeah, right click destroys, but does it actually destroy a larger areas? Like it does in SE1, or is it the same? Because it feels identical. Or it's so similar that it doesn't make any difference. Maybe higher tier ones make difference? Maybe. Can you finally turn the volume down for the inventory full message? Nope. Not independently. But if it makes you feel sad about it, the person who said it sounds even more sad. Inventory full. Are people modding this yet? Yes, but there are no official script mods. Like, there's no official script mod API yet. So a lot of the game-changing or gameplay-changing things aren't being done yet. I don't know when that's meant to come in. But we probably won't see a lot of the fancier mods until that does. Well, this is less than ideal for mining, so I can't see the ore or even the space that I'm in. Yeah, Gek, that's consistent with what I'm seeing. There's very little difference. Good to know. Okay. At least I can kind of see it this time. Oh, and by scripting mods, I don't mean in-game scripts. I mean being able to do things with mods that have scripts in them. So, Build Vision, for example, would be a scripted mod. Build Info the same. MES. They all require scripts that run to change the behavior of the game. Looks like I pretty much got it all. Because I can't see... Nice again. That was the last bit. Yep. How much did I get? 896. Okay, that should last me a little while. Yeah, my breaks are usually 5 minutes or less. Most of the time. I'm actually not claustrophobic. Even in the real world. Worked very much to my favor when playing hide and seek with my older siblings. Because I was very little and could fit in very small spaces. What a part. Turbine blades, yeah. Do I have any of those components? Steel tubes, I do, so I'll grab those. Then we'll grab some iron. Since I don't have plates. It is interesting the turbine blades being in the tanks. It makes sense with how the system works in SE, but it's an unusual notion that I hadn't really considered until I put them in there. Huh? Must be out of iron. Oh, I do have some steel plate. Just had my mind blown. Station is steel frames. We'll get a fourth build state whether we can perfect cubes. Eh. Not sure I'd use that much. Okay. And with this built, in theory, I just need directional thrusters. And a connector for connecting to the stations. So I'll pop the connector onto the cockpit. Like so. Consolidated electronic parts irks me. Felt weird not seeing solar cells in a solar panel. Yeah, I can understand why it feels weird. I'm trying very hard to not poo-poo the changes just because they're changes. Because I think one of the best things... Oh, I won't even get rid of the glow there. Oh dear. Does that mean I'm permanently going to have this glow on that part? So that's not cool. Let's turn off symmetry and see. Yeah, it seems like it's symmetry that does the double. So that worked to get rid of it. Yeah, it's very hard not to be old man yells at change, but I think it's really important. And I think it's really healthy to try and fight that urge. The number of things that I've been able to enjoy, or that I've seen people who would otherwise be old man yells at cloud, be able to enjoy when they go, nah, that's change. Change happens. We can accept change. And then being able to have fun with it, it's like, oh, yes, I want to be that person. I want to be the grandpa still playing games. I feel like the people who do that have much happier lives. Because change is inevitable. Will I be able to accept whatever horrible stupid saying is popular when Toby's a teenager? Who the heck knows? But I can try. Some change is bad, but not all change is bad. And it's trying to recognize the difference is tricky. Am I upset because this is change, or am I upset because this is a bad change? Just use it against them because it evokes that groan from them. Yep. $58, $63, $72. Just like how putting on a clean. Now, I couldn't finish that sentence, Loan. Just like how putting on a clean pair of underwear once a month is a good change. Hey Shaq, how's it going, mate? I hear you tried this out earlier today. I'll be interested to chat with you about it on Sunday / Saturday for you. I think we'll have much to say. What did I just walk into? Shibboleths. Talking about shibboleths. That's what you walked into. Now that I know that word, I'm going to use it until I forget it again. You unlocked fast travel. Yeah, I haven't done the second mission yet. I've been slow boating this. And not the sort of slow boat that ends up running into a runway, but the slow boat that ends up I haven't even built the boat yet. Thanks, Lord Fengo. Thank you for the 2 months. Alright, so this is directional hydrogen thrust, sorted, and I just need some directional atmo thrust. It's a polite way of saying you crashed the mission ship. Yes, I did. Turns out, mag plating a ship you're trying to steal to your own ship, not a good idea. Okay. Where do I want to stick these in? I'm deliberately not putting any armor on this yet, because, well, let's be real, I'm going to have to change this a lot eventually, aren't I? In fact, having said that, maybe I should put some armor shaping on this. For where to put the thrusters. Oh, energy low. Yes. Let's fix that. Did you try and take the little lifting ship the quest has in it with you as well? Yes, I did, Shaq. Yes, I did. Apparently, it went better for you when you attempted it than it went for me. It went very badly for me. Yeah, you flipped over. I did worse than that. Worse than flip. Oh, that's not an attachment point. At least that one makes sense. But that is... Do I go down one? Do I go there? Maybe I go there. Couple of backwards and then forwards, forwards, turn off symmetry, forwards. Yeah, that adds a little bit of something different. Oh, good. Shaq saw the clip. And now we see why he's slowboating it. Yeah. For those wondering, since it's quicker to bring up the clip. Those who didn't see this yesterday. And this is where it starts going wrong very badly.
Nope, 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 nope. Oh, this is gonna end badly.
As I said.
Derp. No. Oh dear.
So I decide maybe I should remove this thing. Maybe that's a good idea. Not when it then makes the other ship go away at massive speed. Then at some point I'm like, oh, I'm heading towards the ground. I should probably stop going this quickly because I'm not going to catch up to this thing in time. And
It's traveling quite fast.
goodbye.
Oh.
Yeah. Whoops. Yeah, completely vaporized. Nothing left. And that is why I'm here building my own ship. Which, honestly, I'm really quite enjoying just building my own ship rather than just operating off stuff I've stolen. Alright, I'm out of iron. I did wrestle some trees earlier, but I won, as usual. It's been a long time since I lost against a tree. Yeah, that's some fun shaping at least. Now for lateral thrust. I think we'll just tuck it in under here. Don't think there's any better spot. That'll do. It's not technically stealing if you can't claim the grid. Well, I think the grids that I'm stealing, they're actually owned by the player because it doesn't seem like there's any way to transfer ownership, which means I must already own it. Oh, poop. I'm out of nickel and oh no, I got Modus. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Anonymous Gifter. Thank you so much for the 5 gift subs. It is fun reading the names in chat sometimes. More fish. A synchronous exception. Thanks, Bedrat. Thank you for 18 months. Yes, officer, I already own this, as there's no way to transfer it. Look, there's no drop-down menu or anything. That'd totally hold up. I can't see any problem. So I have forward, I have backwards, I have lift, I have left, I have right. And I have all the hydrogen directions as well. Now we get to see if this thing can actually fly. So far, so good. Yeah, some lights and an ore detector are probably useful. We'll get this steel plate back first, though. It's got batteries. It's got 2. Unfortunately, all of the mostly complete power cells that I had got destroyed in the crash. We'll see what ones I've got. Hey, Louis. How goes the SE2? Going well. I've got a functional ship, I think. Now I'm just collecting all my bits and pieces so I can take them with me. I wish I had a better grinder. This is slow. So if I start from the connector, what's it going to show me? Yeah, it's showing me all the bits. Good. Oh, the connector's the same size as the cargo container, but physically smaller. Note for the future. Not building in heavy armor. No. No, I am not. No armor or greebling yet, because, well, there's some design element. Like, there's some negative space. The thrusters are up on a little bit of armor. There's something there. I'm not saying the something that's there is good. I'm just saying there's something there.
Inventory full.
Now, some of these are 100%, so let's swap them out.
Inventory
Ow.
full.
Can't do that yet. Man, I love that. Such a good change. There we go. Yeah, I can hopefully find some more stuff to get lead bars from, but I've used up the 2 that I have access to right now for the welder that I've got. So I've got a better welder for now, but I don't have any way to get any other better tools. And I can't use I've been avoiding using the alt right click because it deposits my better tool. All the thrusters are piped up. Everything is piped. It's all piped up. Because this hydrogen thruster goes through to here, goes into the middle, goes to the O2H2 gens. They're all piped. There's no H2 engine in the game yet, I don't think. Well, they aren't the hotbar while in the control seats. I imagine so. It does feel like a weird omission to have early on. I'm not sure why we don't have hotbars in the seats. But I'm also not sure why when you scroll with your mouse wheel, you scroll between items on the hotbar rather than within. I don't know whether that... It's one of those things I'm like, is that an intent? Was that intentional? Was that an accident? Feels like an accident.
Suit energy low.
Now, annoyingly, it doesn't seem like you can do... Where did they end up? Weird. Weird. Wait, I did get everything out, didn't I? Pretty sure I did. Yeah. Yeah, I suppose they could... I mean, changing it so that you don't have to use R and Shift R and maybe giving us the option to scroll to change items on the hotbar, but then Alt scroll within one or something like that. That'd work okay for me, I think. What? Hold up. Oh, Keen. Why? That's just silly. Why do we need to have down thrusters to go down? That's what gravity is for. Oh. I know you can turn off the dampeners, but you really shouldn't have to. That is very silly. You cannot go down without down thrusters. That is just... Oh. Wow. I just... That is a terrible decision. Yes, press Y to descend. Yep, build Cloud City out of that feature. Yep, totally could. Roll it over and press up. Oh, the Hydro already has down thrust. Because I was like, oh, it's going to be in space. It'll be out of gravity. It needs down thrust. In gravity should not need down thrust to go down. That is... oh, so... annoyingly arcade. Anyway. I need electronic parts and I need more steel plate. Oh, maybe not that much.
Inventory full.
Press the wrong button. I ain't buying this till they get a mod to change that voice. Oh man, I mean, with the hundreds of hours I've played its Stationeers, with its morose voice, it's something that annoys me, but something that I've also gotten very used to dealing with. Because Stationeers also has the I don't like being your suit voice. They didn't pay me enough to make an AI of my voice for this. Voice. Alright, that is ready to go to take over to the ice lake, so I'm going to grab some of the useful bits from here. Take them with me. Especially the turbine blades. And the big thruster. Now, I think... this is nice. Like, try my best to balance with complaint, and then what's nice is that every conveyor port is an cargo access port. So you don't have to find your cargo container, you can just have a conveyor node out there, and you've got a conveyor access port. That's a really nice change. That's a really positive change. No more explaining the difference between them all. No more... it just works. Oh yeah, lights. Yeah, good point. I need lights. Is there meaning to the different size conveyors? At this stage, no. At this stage, no. That may change. I would expect it would. Because why else implement different sizes? But at this stage, there's no difference. Alright, let's find the extra functions people are talking about that I need to add. We've got antenna. We've got lights. And do I have an auto detector yet? I do. Sure, why not? Let's have prongs. Electronic parts. Whoa, 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 whoa. I feel like there's shade being thrown my way for not having a sense of direction, and that's perfectly fair. Definitely need to turn one of those off. Need 2 wire, which I have. There we go, we have an ore detector. Now we need some lights. We'll go there and there for now. And we go there. Realized that I didn't do it in symmetry mode. Yay, whoops. Yeah, that'll work out well enough, I think. Grab some construction components, which are there, and there, and there. Light slits on the spotlight should always be vertical. Because you usually have, unless you're placing multiples in a line vertically, they should be aligned this way. If you place multiple in a line vertically, then they should be the other way around. But because this offset gives a benefit, although I get the impression there isn't actually any line on these spotlights like there is in SE1. So it probably doesn't matter here at all. Have I registered my survival kit? I haven't done anything with the survival kit. I didn't see cameras in the list, but I didn't specifically look for them. I don't think there are. Okay, we have light. Now we need nav lights. Nav lights. Where should I put the nav light? One there, I think. Wait, was that on the front tank or the front tank? Now, which light is that gonna be? I wonder. Hopefully it's the last two. That's on starboard. Let's go that. Nope. That is not the correct light. Alright. What color what one did I make green? Oh, actually that's probably the better one to have as green. So at least I got the green one right now. I just gotta find which one is the one at the back on this side. Not that one. 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 That one. There we go. Nav lights. Cool. Well, I think I'm good to go. I need to go and grab some ice now. Oh wait, no. Still got more good bits to grind down. Is there anything I'm meant to do with... I presume the survival kit just works, but I should also turn off one of these antennas. Respawn point settings. Name is... Ship. Sorry. Spaceship! Let's grab you. Grab you.
Inventory full.
Inventory full. Inventory full. So we can't use the shortcut on those ports, but at least the other stuff works. Goodbye. Well, this is gonna go poorly if I died. If I crash this ship now. Because I think that was my last survival kit. Suit voice isn't automated, so every time she says inventory full, it's a lady talking to her radio. I mean, it's at least someone hitting a button. I don't know if it's someone over the radio, because then they not go inventory full. What are you doing to me? Why are you no transfer? Why you be like this? Now you'll stack? Odd. That's how she gets the smallest bit of fun into her job. Fair enough. I don't think I really need to scrap much of this. I'll grab this glass because I haven't got any glass. I think I've got most of the bits that are valuable. Yeah, let's get out of here. Time to leave. And check something quickly. Oh, smallest size is still far too big for this thing. It's tempted to do a capac. Put an unnecessary solar panel that's actually super inefficient because it weighs more than it helps. But I'm not gonna do it because it doesn't help. Alright, off we go to the ice cave. Yes, there is a bug where the thing says the inventory is full if you transfer an entire stack from one inventory to another. And I think they're aware of it. This is a hideous ship. The landing legs really don't do it any favors. I mean, with some armor coating on it, because we've got thin armor that we can do, I could probably make this look alright, but at the moment it's not good. But it flies, so, you know, It's winning. Paint it green, call it Starbug 1. Yeah. That there is a temptation to do that. Still haven't reached full speed. Almost there. There's plenty of battery left. Manufacturing facility. Let's deviate because that was the plan. Particularly to check out if it's got any batteries so I can get some more lead and get some better tools. Maybe I need some more reverse thrusters. This might not be quite enough. Man, I hate this down thrust thing. Have I been here before? I don't know. I feel like this might have been a place I've been to. I don't plan to take all their batteries, just the big one. Oh, the fact that door's off tells me I've been here. Oh yeah, I've definitely been here.
Inventory full.
Inventory full. Whee. Well, if this is a quest, I guess we'll find out at some stage. Oh no, my inventory's full on the ship. I need a base so I can dump it. Half my tonnage is power cells, I swear. Yeah, probably is. Probably is. I probably don't need to bring that many. I just find it very difficult to put them down. Well, maybe I haven't been here. Well, if I've soft locked, then as annoying as that will be, at least we know that I've done it. Did a mission at one base and later went back and it was all reset. Okay. We'll see. We will see. It's a useful point for feedback to be like, hey, it's a bit too easy to soft lock yourself when you're encouraging players to steal stuff from bases. I mean, let's be real. When you give someone a sandbox, they're gonna go off script, right? I expect it's partially due to their ownership side of things that they clearly haven't properly implemented yet. And as that, hopefully that'll get looked at and then fixed and resolve the other issues. Could also teach people not to steal. Well, is it stealing? Or is it salvaging? There's no one there. It's hard to say what altitude we're at when I don't seem to have an altimeter. Do we have one in the ship? Nope. It's called survival, not etiquette. Yeah. If they wanted this stuff, they shouldn't have crashed the ship, then just sat there while getting you to do all the work. Yeah. I'm still having fun despite the things that are annoying me in this. Just trying to think if this wasn't made by Keen and it was a completely separate game, would I have the same grievances? Yeah, I think I would. The thruster one especially. That's one of the reasons I play Space Engineers, not Imperion, is the physics. What's my biggest issue with SE2 currently? The ship physics. The ship physics are my biggest issue. The super dampeners, the needing to have a thruster pointing in all directions, even in gravity. it all just feels super arcade and not in a way that I'm finding as fun as flying around in Space Engineers 1. That's my big gripe. Am I still having fun despite that? Yes. At the moment, what's here feels more like a game that I'd spend, 50 hours in than a game I'm going to spend 7,000 in. Which is fine. Because there are plenty of games I enjoy that I've played that much of.
Inventory full.
Yvonne, there's something familiar about this landscape.
Oh, here we go. There's the bit that I missed out.
Scots pine, oak, daisies, earth species. The trees alone are centuries of years old, spreading over vast regions.
But the first ships from the Bering Project could have only arrived 10 years ago. There's no way this could have developed naturally.
Agreed. But the mystery will have to wait. Repairing the Calypso comes first.
Yeah, I can't clear my objective. Because my ship no longer exists. Uh-oh. Well, that's not good. Oh dear. Hey, I can break through, just like in SC1.
Inventory full.
Whoops. Okay, my hydrogen tanks are filling. Need a little bit more. Hey Tex, how's it going? I'm gonna keep my jetpack on while I mine the rest of this ice, because I think there's a spot that doesn't have collisions. I'd rather not fall to the center of the planet. Although, there's a part of me that's tempted to fall there just to see whether it actually is safe to fall to the center, or whether there's some depth that kills me. The mission requires me to put ice into something that no longer exists, because I crashed it and destroyed it. There is a way to access the debug menu. However, it doesn't work for me. And it won't work for a lot of people because it requires the use of 6 or 7 keys pressed at once, and a lot of keyboards don't let you do that. I crashed it and erased it from reality, yeah. I think, Oddbase, I think all the caves at present are accessible from the surface. So they're surface features rather than you'll be tunneling and randomly run across something like Minecraft. I tried making a macro, aka, it did not work. Though, admittedly, that might be because the macro software might not work properly. I don't know.
Inventory full.
I could just grab some snow, yes, but it's less efficient. How are we going? How are the tanks at now? 86%. So we should almost be good to fly out of space. May as well grab one more load while I'm here and then we'll go. My macro didn't work because of my CPU. I mean, I think a lot of the problems I've been having of late have been my CPU. I think. Can you build a new one or is it just gone forever? In terms of achieving the mission objective, it's gone forever. So it seems like it's still very easy to break this mission tree, so Keen's going to need to work out what their solution's going to be for that. I'm not surprised that there's no solution in place right now, but it does annoy me that they've made the debug tools so difficult to access when they know the system can be broken this easily. A lot of games would use things like a stuck command or some sort of admin tool to allow people to work around these things while the game is still in this early state. And I feel like Keen should probably do that here too. Make it easy for us to have access to the admin tools equivalents, because things will break. Yeah, toggling the options to enable dev tools or whatever, absolutely needed at this point when you can break and when you can get yourself stuck this easily. Let's see if turning this on and off will get me my hydrogen thrusters back. Nope. Might have to reload the game. Let's try the reload of the game. Yeah, I don't know why they hide the dev tools. It's kind of like having anti-cheat in a PvE game. It's like, why? Why? Yeah, my thrusters are on. They were just not graphically on, and I might even have to Ooh, let's see if restarting SE2 does it, because I still don't have them. Yeah, I got nothing. See if a game reload fixes it. Yeah, I wonder if I just have to go to the map marker. Because the ship's not there, but maybe I just have to go to the map marker and I'll do it. I'm not sure. Maybe turn the actual thrusters off on. Maybe. I'll give it a try after I restart. If this doesn't work. Like, I think the earlier access your game is, the earlier in development it is, the more you should give players the ability to access your development tools and creative mode type tools, because it prevents a lot of issues that come up where people get stuck and you can unstick yourself and you can just work around roadblock rather than just being like, hey, I'm gonna quit this game because your game sucks because I can't actually do the things I want to do. There we go, we have thrust back. I'm gonna go back toward the planet and see if heading to this refill ship marker clears my quest. Why am I hearing zapping noises like there's a failing R2-D2 on board? Hearing something weird. It'd be funny if you crashed this ship as well. Well, at least we have a save to go back to. It's a sound effect of the battery block. Weird. Because it sounds broken, not functional. You reckon it's the power capping out? Perhaps. No, it's happening now and the power's not capping out at the moment. Although maybe it triggered when I hit pull. Yeah. Okay, going to the marker does not help. Needs to be that specific block. So that's stuck on my HUD forever. Just stuck forever. And off we go. To space as quickly as I can. No, it's not the spaceship, Karandri. The ship that's meant to be for this quest is no longer in existence. So I cannot complete it. No, Karandri, that's not correct. The one that didn't get completed is the very first one on the ship that I destroyed. By accident. Lord Ginger, the save where I crashed it was like 5 hours ago? So that's long gone. Oh yeah, you can definitely safe zone break. I did it yesterday. Capac reacted to it as you would expect. The issue with going back is that I then don't have this ship, which I spent hours building. So going back to a previous save is not a solution. It's not an option I am even remotely going to consider. There we go. Nice. Made it back. I'm going to take another stretch break. I will be back shortly. Great, I come back to bouncing dead Capax. That feels like a good place to come back to. Alright, now we have more missions to do. So the missions, the one that, the objective 5 that's busted is not one of the regular missions, it's one of the starter missions. And the point where it broke was because I collected snow instead of specifically going into the cave and collecting ice for the hydrogen-based ship that you fly up to the station that I'm on. Then I kept using that ship and I flew it back down to do one of the first missions, and in the process of doing that destroyed that ship. So there's no cargo container because there's no ship, so this objective is impossible to complete. And as far as I've seen so far, the starting of the missions does not spawn in new grids, so there's no way to replace that either. So the scripting of this is just broken. And as I was just mentioning before the break, it's impossible for me to get the debug tools up. They do not work for me. because the keybind is overly complicated, and so I can't fix this. So this is just we get the joy of seeing a bug on screen for the rest of this VOD at least, or as long as I play on this save, really. Can I abandon it? Maybe? No. At least complete the one that I was doing. But it's not even a contract. Because it's not a contract. It wasn't a contract. It's one of the initial tutorial objectives. So it's, yeah. This to me is why early access games need easy access to dev tools so you can unstick yourself. Let's go to the abandoned research outpost. Bring it back online. You can delete GPS markers. What I can't delete is objectives. That's not a GPS marker, it's an objective marker. So I've got validation station, I've got temporary home, and I've got this unknown one, which I presume is where the whingy brother is at. But I can't, there's no other GPS marker to delete. That marker is just there, and that thing on my HUD is just there. There's no, as far as I'm aware, there's no tutorial to turn off. There are things you can do in the debug menu, I'm pretty sure, but I can't access the debug menu as I was just mentioning. This is broken. It is not me broken, it is game broken, which is sad. We go. Yeah, I imagine there are a lot of quest incomplete things that have been reported. After the stream, I might go search for my specific ones or just upvote all of them. My atmos are all off. I turned them all off. Oh. Rename that. Yes. It's just enough gravity here that it's a problem. Yeah, it's annoying that it's so easy to kill our saves at the moment. Yes, gravity. Like, gifs. I'm not even going to say that one. Orbiting. Yes, we all love our traffics. Indeed. Gus Newton, why did you have to invent gravity? See you, Spectre. Come on, Chip. Alright, but slow down. Should probably offload your massive load of stuff so that the thrusters are a bit more efficient, but yeah, I reckon when Newton invented gravity, everyone had to be told. And all of a sudden, as you understood what was happening, you fell to the ground. Alright, let's see what components I already have, and see what I can pilfer from around the place. Ooh, that's a lot of glass. Yoink. Electronic parts, steel plate, wire. Is there copper around here? Yeah, there is. I gotta fix this battery too. Let me through the hole! And go. Gorillas and giraffes. Space pirates in the making. Yep. Well, I was saying yesterday that with the two guys in the story, it feels like one of them is Capac, and one of them is the poor guy left behind while Capac runs off to do whatever fun thing he wants to do instead of helping you. Although he's really whiny about it, which makes him not very relatable. Super whiny. Okay, you don't need the rest of that glass. And do you care if I now grind you down?
Inventory full.
No, you don't. Excellent. Excellent. Next repair.
Inventory full.
I'm not gonna say that anybody is the other guy, because the other guy's just so annoying. Yvonne. Okay, objectives complete. Uh-oh. Maybe I do need to have these complete. It's not liking me right now. It's not finishing. Have I already broken this one too? Oh. Now it says, okay, yep, cool. It cares. It's clever enough to know that you're stealing bits. Return to the contract terminal. Off we go. I mean, I could have gone back and stolen the bits just then, but I'm not going to. My inventory's full. That's why. Has nothing to do with any sense of what's right and wrong. It's entirely that I don't have space. I don't have... I just can't carry it. Thanks, Dirty Ken. Thank you for 1 year. This is a bug I hit. If you've technically completed a task before it even asks you, it just refuses to tell you about any other tasks. Oh, joy. You know what? Do you know what I'm going to do when I get to the end of this stream? I am going to either find or make a feedback post that says, give players access to debug tools easily. And I'll post about it and share that. So if you agree with me that you think it'd be nice while things are this rough to give players access to the ability to fix the things themselves, or potentially break things even more, because that's possible, let's annoy Keen until they give us access to that. Give us Alt F10 back. Heck, even put it behind, make it work, but put it behind an option that you have to set in the menu as well. So it doesn't even work unless you've gone in and said, hey, I know I could break things worse, but I'd really like to be able to use my save. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do, because I think that's something that we've got a chance that Keen will listen to if we have enough voices saying that that's useful and that will help us enjoy their game more. Because that's what it's about. It's about us being able to enjoy it and not get stuck by stuff that, yeah, it's okay. There are bugs. We know there's going to be bugs. But give us the tools to work around them. Oh no, J-Rock, they 100% have that part of the UI installed yet. I know it's there, I just can't access it. I know how to access it, it just doesn't work. So I want it to be made easy so that everyone can access it. If I didn't know it was there, it probably wouldn't annoy me so much. But because I know it's there and I know it's being intentionally hidden from me, it really grates. It's like, come on! Why you tell me this thing? Why you say when I'm starving, there's bread over there, by the way, but you can't have it. That doesn't help me. Give me the keys so I can have the bread. Alright, let's go complete that quest. I want to see what the next batch of quests are, because I haven't gotten that far yet. Alright, so we have to do the shove all the blocks out of the way one. Yeah. Active contract, 20 kilometers this way. Our mission's the only way to unlock new blocks at the moment? Yes. Also, I may have to restart this. I may have to restart and do a new save. Because are there meant to be more things that get triggered? Like more voice events and things? And then I've completely broken that? Yeah. Yeah, it's a problem. You just found sandbox mode, yeah. Zoom, zoom, and now that I know I'm not going to hit, let's flip. So I went way too quickly and didn't turn a burn soon enough. It is pretty quick to get back to that point in the objectives, however I wouldn't have my ship because I can't enable creative mode so I could paste it in. And that's like where I'm coming from with this. I'd happily off stream get up to the same story beat and then paste this ship in and then go back to survival mode, but I can't do that. Like in SE1, if I was playing one of the missions and I got to this point, that's exactly what I'd do. Yeah, make a blueprint, restart, and paste it in. I don't want to have to weld this up by hand and do all that just to get around a bug. Push, 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 push. Cedric, if that comment was made in regards to what I was just saying, then that's wrong, because that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying this is an alpha. No, not you. Okay, good. Yeah, there are people, the expectations are, you know, gonna be what they are. You pay for a game, you have expectations. That's just reality. Can't change that. Need some motors, and I need some metal grids. I probably need some electronic parts as well, yeah. Motor, electronics, grids. Motor, electronics, grids. Motor. Electronic parts, that's probably enough, but I'll grab some more if I've got some. I do not. I've probably glanced over some. Bring that code cobalt in case. Bring some of this in case. Bring some of this in case.
Inventory full.
So there we go. No, the boxes were empty. I checked them. And I saw Kabak checking most of them yesterday, and they were empty. I forgot to get the motors. Although, those boxes might have had some motors in them. As in the containers themselves. Don't think there's much, though. Yeah. See, empty, and I got a couple of motors. It's not really worth it. Let's get some motors. There we go. That should do the trick. There we go. 2 of the bits done. Now I just need to do the solar panels. And what do you want? You want glass. I don't have enough silicon for that. Do I have enough copper? Do I have enough iron? I'm gonna have to go mine some silicon. Why am I carrying a heavy duty plate? That is not helpful. Not helpful at all. I don't think I do have much glass. I probably got a little bit, but I don't have much. I got 6. 8. Yeah, I've got 8. That I need to mine some silicon. Where is silicon? At here. Now these little boxes might have some stuff. Like silicon. Like more silicon. Like even more silicon. Those are the boxes that have stuff. Now, where's the copper around here? So there might be some boxes near it that have it, so I don't have to mine it. Nope. Some wire. Some more wire, that's probably going to cover the copper needs. Oh. Still have the fun of stairs in 0G. As it should be. Before anyone says anything. That's how stairs should work in 0G with mag boots. There we are. Mission complete. Stealing some bits. Want my glass. There we go. Let's head back to the base. Let's aim a little bit high because I keep running into gravity and sinking. Why is there a component mode when you can weld all the stuff with raw ore? Is there a benefit with components? Yes. The components are a bit quicker. I haven't tested how much more dense they are in terms of how much more you can fit in your inventory, but it seems like you can fit a bit more. So yeah, there is an advantage to having components over ore. The bit that felt yesterday like the ore was better than components were the simple components, the stuff that just needs iron. Rather than needing to figure out whether I've got enough steel tube and enough steel plate and enough motors, I can just carry some iron and some nickel. That's it. So yesterday I was feeling like it didn't really matter for me, and it was better. Maybe I'm feeling a little different today, but I think it's still feeling like it's not enough of a difference. I'm just trying to use what I have to hand, so I'm using the components a bit more than I was yesterday anyway. I don't think ore should have an advantage, Torgi. I think ore should be... The advantage of ore is that you can use it no matter whether you've got the facilities to make stuff or not. That's its advantage. I don't think it needs an advantage beyond that. Because I think encouraging people to build their base and build the factories they need or build them onto their ship, I think aligns with the general goals of space engineers on the whole. There we go. Now, engineering, excavate. Now, have I unlocked any new blocks? What new blocks am I meant to have unlocked by now? Oh yeah, it's unlocked. I'm just not getting any notification for it. Okay. Cool. That one was for ion thrusters. Yeah, I'm missing big batteries. Or reactors. I'm missing some movement. I have some basic ion, but I don't have the big ones, I think. Missing some production blocks. Missing the med bay. I've almost unlocked all the blocks that I can. Our exploration team has found an interesting natural cave formation we want to explore further. We set up some excavation sites and need you to finalize them. Or, we are looking to build a manufacturing... Uh-oh. Let's do this one, because I think this is the one I broke. Let's find out. Have I blocked my progress without access to a debug tool? Have I broken it? Because I did completely grind down at least one of the blocks. Let's aim high. And dampeners off. Yeah, I'm sure this will totally be fine and not broken. Whoops. I should have come into this with the mindset of the SE1 tutorial map, which is easier to break than this is. Re-entry FX planned. I haven't seen any mention of it. I should probably turn my atmo thrusters back on. I might want to add an extra battery or two. Still want to know if you can put full-size power modules into the time battery? You cannot. Did I turn off any settings to stop from getting 10-second delays going into inventories? No. My settings are moderate to high for most things. And although my CPU is very buggy, it is still a fairly high performance CPU. Because I imagine inventories might be CPU bound. What's wrong with my CPU? It was made by Intel and labeled Rocket Lake. That's what's wrong with it. Because aside from Rocket Lake, Intel CPU is fine. Rocket Lake, not so much. Locate and finish construction of the manufacturing hall. Assembler, smelter, cargo container. What do I need for you? Gold thread. So that would be the gold that I found. I need... let's weld that up first. So that's easy. Less to remember. Need more steel plate. Need motors. Many motors. Some electronic parts. SE2 does not have multiplayer yet, no. Multiplayer, at least co-op multiplayer, and water are in a race to see which one will arrive first. I don't know why I'm getting so much blur right now. Sandy blurness. Thought it fixed the setting that was doing that. Apparently not.
Inventory full.
Ah, poop. Motors.
Inventory full.
Right, we'll see how much I can get built with this. I was saying yesterday my bet is on multiplayer, not water. Because if Keen feel like they need to get an update released, multiplayer can be pushed out the door before it's fully ready. In my mind, more than water can be. So it's now just motors and electronic parts. Even though their roadmap says it the other way around. Assume, like, if they don't run into any issues with water, then yeah, of course water would come first. But if they do, I can see it going the other way. That is my guess as someone who cannot write code of their own. So take it with a heaping grain of non-angry salt. I should really cut a hole in the wall to make it easy to get in here. Alright, what do I need? Nickel, silicon. Anything in this cargo container? No. Anything else on this base? No. Crunch. Crunch. Sure. A power module. I can put that in one of the things. Got some iron. Don't need to grab the iron. Though now that I've dumped that power module, I can. Copper. Nickel. I needed some of that. Gimme.
Inventory full.
Visualizing a single grain that is heaping. Oh, I guess if it was like pyramidal, that could sort of look like it's a heaping grain of salt. You make a valid point that it is hard to have a heaping singular grain. I don't have a good answer to that. I should probably change the way I say that saying and say a gigantic grain of salt. What was I coming to get? Silicon. Humongous. Yeah, humongous would work. Ah. A conic grain of salt? Hooray! Use the smelter and assembler to manufacture the following components and move them to your inventory. 12 heavy-duty plates. Huh. Let's see what happens.
Inventory full.
Okay, that's what I thought would happen. And now is when the mission breaks. That one I didn't completely destroy, but I think I destroyed this one completely. I didn't! I didn't break the mission! Yay! By some miracle! Woo! Maybe, I don't think the block, I thought I ground down on one of them completely, so yeah, maybe I did. Maybe I did break the, maybe the mission fixed itself? Huh. Yeah, I thought I just got the lead out of both. Maybe I just got the lead out of both. I don't know. Someone would have to look at the VOD. Ooh. Hang on. The gold respawned. The grid respawned. Yep. Everything respawned. Good. Excellent. So that's not a spot you get stuck. They got that bit right. Nice. So you can, if you find a grid that might be part of a mission, but you find it before the mission, ransack the whole place. Take everything. That's what I am hearing from this. Or taking from this. Doesn't matter if it's nailed down or not, you take everything. And find out that's the one key missed. True. Although, now that I've finished the mission here, I can take the lead out again. At least out of one of them. Although apparently I've powered down the base already, so let's take the other one. Gonna need a bigger ship. Turn the base into a ship. Yes, I could upgrade my drill and my grinder with the lead that I've got, I think. Got one lead. Oh no, I can only upgrade one of them. I've got 3 lead. No, I've got 4. I can do both. Get in the container. I didn't even notice. I like the fact that it highlights there's a similar item. The same item. So you know you can just drag it on top. Very nice. That's a good touch. See, there are some little things in this that I'm like, hey, they've put some good thought into that. Then there are other things it's like, oh, and now I'm back to feeling confused. But it is being fun so far, and that's the important part. I do have 5. I need to pick a spot to make a base. That's what I need to do next. But I think I might do that. I think I'll probably play this on Friday in my usual stream. My usual single player survival stream slot on Friday. I think I'll play some more. And I'm contemplating making some sort of a video that's edited, maybe about my thoughts on where SE2 is at right now. As long as I can make those thoughts cohesive and not full of whinging. Because I don't want it to be whingy. This isn't a whingy thing. This has been fun. It's just very hard to look at this in isolation when you've played 7,000 hours of its predecessor. And it's officially its predecessor. They've got the same name. So I need to figure out how I do that in a way that's, I think, interesting to talk about and also valid. So yeah. Baraki, I plan to play The Last Caretaker again when it's got more content. I was told that I'm very near the end of the content in it anyway, so there's not much more to do until it adds more. So I don't want to Subnautica myself by going too far. Yeah, I want what I say to be constructive and not just salt. Because I don't enjoy doing that. It's not a pleasant feeling. It's not entertaining. It's just, nah. So, yeah. But yeah, I'll be back with more of this on Friday. And maybe we'll see if I've managed to figure out how to access the thing by then. The debug tools. And I will let you guys know when I have made a feedback post for we need access to the debug tools. So there's all that and plenty more to come. And I will see you then.